Welcome back to the favorite file. I'm going to talk about a spool cap. How many of you are aware of a spool cap? Recently, God spoke to my mother to be a spool cap. She was shown the vision of being a spool cap. So she shared it with me and my family. But she did not know anything further about it. So we decided to study what is a spool cap. We all have seen a spool cap, ignored it because we have seen greater things. But the importance of a spool cap is unavoidable. So we happened to learn or think about a spool cap for past few weeks. So here is a reflection about the spool cap, a small, often overlooked part of a sewing machine. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the spool cap. So what I want to talk to you is about something so small. It is so small that many times we overlook this spool cap. We throw it away and sometimes we don't even know that it exists. Yes, I'm talking about the spool cap. For those of you who are familiar with stitching, sewing, or have seen the sewing machines, you know what I'm referring to. The spool cap is that small little plastic or sometimes it is metal that sits on the spindle of the sewing machine. What is its purpose? A spool cap is used to hold the thread spool in its place. See, spool cap does not stitch. It does not touch the fabric. It does not look impressive. But try removing it once and watch how quickly the thread entangles. It slips out of the position. It throws everything out of its order. See, what we see is the spool cap teaches us a truth we often ignore. Actually, it is not always the visible, the celebrity parts that keeps life running smoothly. Sometimes it is the smallest, the humblest pieces that makes the biggest difference. We live in a world that worships visibility. We often celebrate the preacher who is speaking so beautifully on the pulpit, or the leader who is in front of the stage, or the businessman who is on the spotlight. But our God celebrates that faithful servant who is in the background, the parent who keeps praying when the child goes off to school or to college. God celebrates that friend who listens without judgment. God celebrates that volunteer who shows up week after week in church without anyone calling out to their names on the stage. They are the spool caps of our lives. Let us think. What are the small things in our life that God is using to hold it all together? Are we neglecting our prayer life because it feels insignificant? Are we overlooking small acts of love because we think that is not spiritual enough? Maybe God is calling us to be the spool cap, to stand firm in a place that might not be glamorous, to stay in that place so that something greater can move forward, can flow freely in front of us. Maybe God is saying, don't underestimate the importance of your role. no matter how hidden it is. See, we see in throughout the Bible that Jesus himself came as a servant. He washed his disciples' feet. He wept when it hurted him. Many times we feel that he was overlooked, he was rejected, and many times he was underestimated. But in doing so, he held the world together with love. So, the next time when we are tempted to think that my part is too small to matter, always remember the spool cap. See, the spool cap does not seek attention. It simply does its job quietly, faithfully, and with that purpose. And maybe that's all God is asking of you and me. Let us be faithful in that. Amen. Hope this encouragement will speak to you and it will be useful in your life. May God bless you. Stay tuned for more from Favored 5. God bless.